Buddy, my name is Dave Sundstrom, and you know what? I had a few minutes to spare this afternoon and thought, you know what? I'll hang out with my friends here on YouTube. So, for those of you who don't know me, I focus on music, movies, and mostly television from the 50s, 60s, 70s, and 80s. That's what the topics of my videos are all about. And I really enjoy making the videos because they're just an opportunity for me to wax a little nostalgic and think back to my youth and some of the things that entertained me back when I really feel like entertainment was king. Back when there were 3 and then 4 networks out there. Yeah, hey Justin, how you doing? Good to have you with me this afternoon. I'm surprised as well. I was actually working on another video, finish it up quicker than I thought I was going to. And so I have about 50 minutes here where I was planning on putting together a video when it got done, uploaded it to YouTube. It's not out there yet. It's not live, but I thought, well, if I've got the time to spare, let me get on and just visit with my friends. So welcome, Justin. It's great to have you here. And let me put that up here real quick. I am surprised as well. But what I'd really love to do is just kind of engage in a conversation with everybody and visit with you. If anybody wants to throw a question my way, just throw it in the chat and I'll do my best to answer it. So, hey Spike Spikerson, good to have you here as well. No topic today. Like I was saying, I just ended up having a little bit of spare time. Was working on my latest video. By the way, it's on Linnea Quigley. If you are a fan of B-movie horror films, then you will know you will be familiar with her work. That's probably going to go live tomorrow. But in the meantime, I thought since I have a little bit of time free, I will just visit with community members. Hey, Taylor Downing, how are you doing? Like I said, no real agenda today other than just visit with the community. Zen Dwayne, great to have you here. Hope your day is going well. Mine has been great. Got up, mowed the lawn, did a little bit of work around the yard, worked on a YouTube video, and found myself with a little bit of spare time. So let's see who else we've got here. We've got Mark Bosselman with us. Great to have you here, Mark. Hello. Good. Questions, comments, whatever you want to put into the chat, I will respond to. So we've got 20 people here with us live, and it's great to have folks here on a Saturday. Well, in my neck of the woods, I think it's pretty much everywhere. It's an afternoon now, at least if you're in the continental U.S., so Saturday afternoon. Hopefully folks like me, got most of their errands and chores done and are able to just relax a little bit. Yeah, Mr. Led, how's it going? That's exactly, surprised me as well. I'm just hanging out, got a little bit of extra time. I will answer any questions or take any suggestions. So let me go ahead and Christopher Kraft is in the house, located in the great state of California. Although it looks like, is that snow behind you in the image there, Christopher? All right. Yes, Justin, I think I'm going to catch a lot of folks away. A lot of folks are traveling. We were on the road yesterday evening. And boy, oh boy, it's a Friday evening, and a lot of folks, at least out here in Utah, they've got their trucks and trailers, and they're heading off to go camping for Memorial Day weekend. James Bodner, Chuck, welcome. I hope you're having a great day. It's always great to see you here on the live stream. And Larry Penrose, well, thank you so much. I love Three's Company. It's one of my favorite shows from the late 70s, early 80s. I love the cast of that show. I just love everything about it. Frankie's Market, welcome. Good to have you here. I hope all's going well. Paul in the United Kingdom, great to have you here. I hope it's got to be different time. Probably the evening, is it, in the UK right now? Bessie Morris, thank you for the kind words, and a happy Memorial Day weekend to you as well. Stay safe. That's wise words for all of us. Let's do our very best. Zendwayne says that he's watching old episodes of Dragnet in black and white from the 50s. Oh, those are so good. You know what? I grew up watching the reruns of the stuff with Harry Morgan and Jack Webb from the 60s, but I've gone back and watched those older episodes because a lot of them are right here on YouTube, and they are a lot of fun to watch. By the way, you can't beat YouTube for going down, a rabbit hole and just, you watch one episode and then it feeds you another. What a great way to waste a few hours. Edward Hanna, welcome. Good to have you here. As I mentioned at the beginning of the live stream, you know what? I was working on a video. I'm working on one on Linnea Quigley, and it came together so quickly for me. The one on Quigley came together quickly, and I ended up with some spare time. It's done. It's in the can. I've uploaded it to YouTube. It isn't live yet, but it's all finished. And I said, I've got time. Let me just hit the button to go live and visit with the community for a little bit. So it's great to have a little bit of time to do this afternoon. Taylor Downing says, your videos are great. Did you ever watch Cagney and Lacey? And would you ever do a video on that show? Yes and yes. I think about that time period, and Cagney and Lacey was on ABC or CBS, along with, I think it was the same night as Lou Grant. And I loved watching those two shows together. So I've got some memories, and thank you for the suggestion. The great thing about a live stream is now I have a recorded request here from you on that, and I'll make sure that I put it on my potential topics list as well. Thanks for the suggestion. DOA version 2.0 says, how's it going? Really good. I got all my chores done this morning. I mowed the lawn, did a little bit of extra yard work, and I even, like I said, finished a video, and I'm pretty happy with it, pretty pleased. For those of you who don't know who Linnea Quigley is, she is America's B-movie scream queen. And she was definitely a presence in the 80s, most of the 80s. I'd say mid-80s to early 90s, and continues to be a hardworking actress in that particular genre of film. So great day, though, and really enjoying the weekend so far, and excited to have Monday off from work. James Bodnerchuk, happy Memorial Day to you as well, my friend. Frankie's Market says, were you ever a fan of the 80s TBS sitcoms like Down to Earth, Rocky Road, and Safe at Home? They're never shown in reruns. Here's a confession. I don't recognize any of those names. I'd ask you, Frankie, if that is your name, were they on for a long time, or were they fairly short-lived sitcoms? Because they don't ring a bell for me. Oh, Paul in the UK says, yeah, it's 8:16 p.m. here. Well, thanks for joining me on the live stream this evening for you. And Yorkie Mom says, hello from Texas. Well, hello right back at you in Texas. Spike Spikerson said, this is a good question. Who would win in a fight between Jack Tripper and Judge Harry Stone? Well, I think Harry Stone would be wilier. But I think that at the end of the day, I think Tripper is sprier and probably a little more agile from all the pratfalls. And you ever see when he makes a fall, he pops right back up? I think that might give him the edge. Rome Ticklin says, hello, Dave, and everyone. Finally caught one of your live streams. Well, it's at the most unlikely of times. I don't usually do live streams at this time, this day or time, but great to have you here with us. Colt 49ers says, hey, yo. Well, good to have you here, sir. And then speaking about his image here that he's posted as a YouTube icon, or on his profile pic, he says, yes, that's snow. The picture was taken on Thanksgiving Day at my sister's house in Hesperia, California. Awesome. That's great. Thanksgiving, even out here in Utah, we're not always guaranteed snow by that time of year. Colt 49er says, I prefer Canon or the Mannix TV series. Watched them both myself as a kid. But I got to say, I probably go with Mike Connors and Mannix for myself. Terry Gunn says, hello right back at you, Terry. I hope you're having a great Saturday and a great Memorial Day weekend. For those who don't know who I am, my name is Dave Sundstrom. I like to think of myself as a pop culture historian, and I make videos here on YouTube that focus on music, movies, and mostly television from the 50s, 60s, 70s, and 80s. Found myself with a little bit of spare time today, and so I thought I'd pop in and stream a little bit. Why not, huh? Flash in the pan, welcome. Good to have you with us. Spikerson agrees with me. He says Jack wins because Janet will be there to console him regardless. Well, that is a win, to be hanging out with Joyce DeWitt. Oda Cop 67 says, afternoon, Dave. Hope the weekend is going well. It is. I'm really having a great weekend so far. Spike Spikerson says, seems legit. And Sienna Cameron says, Barney Miller and the Magic Brownies, laugh aloud. That is an episode I haven't seen, so sounds like something that might be fun to watch. I actually, boy, it's been a long time since I've watched an episode of Barney Miller. I really need to revisit that program. Taylor Downing says, you're welcome. That's referring to her Cagney and Lacey suggestion. Yeah, it was a great show. Let me get to Zen Wayne says, I listened to Tales of the Texas Rangers on Old Time Radio YouTube channel. Oh, yeah, I need to check that one out, too. I was listening to, there's a guy who interviewed me not too long ago, Story Comic channel. And his latest interview is a guy who is an old time radio historian, and got me anxious. Anxious is probably the wrong word, but desirous to go back and listen to some of those old timey radio shows again. I really loved CBS Mystery Theater in the 70s. It was what I would listen to as I was going to sleep at nights. That, E.G. Marshall was the narrator. Just really great stuff. I want to do a video one of these days on that radio program, but I just haven't gotten around to it yet. Paul asks if I have done a video on the Man from Atlantis. Yes, sir, I have. Just type in Dave Sundstrom and Man from Atlantis. You will find it. Ben Adams, good to have you here. Hello from Utah to Iowa Park, Texas. Good to have you. Hope your weekend is going well. It's Memorial Day weekend. It's great to Saturday morning get all the stuff done, the yard work, the chores, whatever errands you have, right? Maybe some of you don't have that. And then kind of be able to settle on in. And hopefully you've all got a good movie or something teed up for this evening. Or you've got queued up on your DVR some great television shows. Larry Penrose, welcome, says, why was Lawrence Welk a victim of the rural purge? I don't think so much it was because, his program obviously doesn't have a rural theme to it. But it's the age group and demographic that his show appealed to that made that show. Although I think it ran into the late 70s before it finally dropped from making new episodes. I'd have to look that up. But great question. And I really actually, I was a weird kid. I didn't mind watching Lawrence Welk, and then right after that watching something like Solid Gold. DOAV 2.0 says, have you considered possibly doing a video on Dark Shadows? Not only have I considered it, but I have done it. Again, search Dave Sundstrom and Dark Shadows, and you should find a thumbnail with the image of Barnabas Collins on it. Edward Hanna says Jack Tripper was a former boxer on the show. He'd win. I didn't know that. I should know that backstory. Maria Q. Hey, good evening. Best regards from Cyprus. Well, how about that? That's awesome to have you here, and a repeat. You've been on my live streams before, so welcome. Thank you for joining me for this surprise Memorial Day live stream. Mr. Led says, all that energy, what's in that Diet Coke? Well, magical ingredients. Mostly I think it's the caffeine. But, I attribute some of it to the caramel coloring, too. I really got to stop drinking so much of that stuff. WG7D says the Whirly Birds Copter Patrol would be interesting to learn about. I haven't seen it. So that's something I can do a little research on as well. It's funny because sometimes I get these suggestions and then I say, I haven't seen it. And then I do the research And I realize that I have seen it. And memories start flooding back. That's one of the reasons I love doing this as a hobby, is that, well, I'll get a little personal with you. You know, I've shared with some, I've even did a video on it. My mother passed away a year and a half ago, and she passed away from dementia, but her dementia was really exacerbated by a complete lack of memory. She lost her memory, and it was tough seeing her slowly fade away. And one of the things that I've realized is how valuable memories are. And it's crazy because sometimes I can't even remember what I had for dinner the night before, but it's really important to me to be able to remember the past. And making these videos allows me to think back, you know, even though I'm talking about TV shows and movies and music, it allows me to think back to what was going on in my life. You know, and many times I'll talk about in the videos family members that were watching those shows or those movies with me. And it's just really important. Your memories are the essence of who you are. They formulate and have an impact on how you react and behave today. DJ Mexicano de Texas, or Mexicano de Texas. Hola, mi amigo. Me gusta que estás aquí. Braidwood in, my friend Justin says, Dave, you should do a watch along of the blooper reels. We might be able to pull that off, because I think you're right. I think we might be able to say with a certain amount of security that they wouldn't hit the copyright police. Great suggestion. Colt 49er says Al Bundy versus Jack Tripper. No question. Al Bundy wins. Al Bundy wins. Barney Miller comes on Antenna TV. Okay. I'm going to set my DVR because I get Antenna TV on it from it's an over-the-air station here out in Utah. So I don't have to pay anything for it. It's not part of a cable package or anything else, at least out here. I can just set my DVR, my TiVo, and record some of it. John Simunovich Audrin, hopefully I said that right, Audrin, says, hey, Dave, yes, but then the rural perch people speak of gave the 70s too many dry cops, hospitals, and courtroom shows. Boy, did they ever. Even the good ones got old. It felt like there was a time when it was all docs, lawyers, cops. Yeah, when Hollywood finds something, right? And I guess, it's the old adage, you give the people what they want. But boy, it's overkill. And it really stifles creativity. But then eventually they come around. We get new ideas, fresh ideas. And for that reason, there still is. And I know that it's harder to find these days, but there still are new good shows out there to sometimes watch. Flash in the Pan says, laugh out loud, Al would have a hard time catching Jack. Well, that's it. They'd have to catch him. But then I think Al would have his way in terms of he would definitely be the victor. Bessie Morris says, Dave, still mourning the loss of Johnny Crawford. Thank you for the memory video you did for him. He was a great man and actor, and he is missed. Yeah, obviously Johnny's main time on television was before my time. But I really have loved getting to know him through old episodes of The Rifleman, which I love. And then I've done a couple videos on Johnny. I did one when he was still alive, and I really love some of his songs, right? So he was multi-talented and definitely, like you said, a great man, and will definitely be missed. Thanks for the comment, Bessie. Mr. 79 Man says, hello from Arizona. Hello, neighbor. Good to have you here with us today. Hopefully you're having a great Memorial Day weekend. All right, and all the way over on the other side of the country, Brenda Bunch, welcome. Good to have you here. Always fun to talk to someone over there in New York, one of my favorite places to visit. Larry Moore says, Judge Harry Stone should win because he had Bob and June Wheeler to console him. I like that. And then confirming, yes, Linnea Quigley, she was in a number of different B-movie horror flicks in the 80s. Return of the Living Dead, The Return of the Living Dead, Silent Night, Deadly Night. I don't know if any of you remember that one. Oh boy, Sorority Babes, and this in the Slime Ball-orama. And then there's just been there was a workout video she did as well. I talk about all that stuff in the video, so I'm going to leave it at that. Tracy, I missed you on Wednesday. So glad you could join me for this surprise live stream. Great to have you here. And oh my goodness, let me pop in here. Thank you so much. I totally agree with you. Thank you for the super chat. I appreciate the super chats. They're obviously, for me, a great way of folks showing support for the channel. And that's all I can say about that. They're appreciated, and thanks for doing it. Let me go back to your initial comment. If I am, there you are. That was your first comment, and I want to make sure that I hit everybody. Line in the Sand says, good day from Nambia. Finally a face to put to that great voice. Thank you so much. I don't know if I have a great voice. I have a voice. We'll say that. And I enjoy making the videos. I enjoy narrating the videos. And at least we can say this. I've been told the voice sounds like I'm a kindergarten teacher talking to kids. But, it's my voice. I love it. And I'll stick with it. Rome Ticklin says, who is the artist of that Batman piece behind you? Okay. So which Batman piece are you talking about? There is directly behind me, or mostly behind me, you can see that's an actual, the storyboard there is, this was from the Warner Brothers store. My wife bought it for me when we were first married. And it has, because Mark Hamill, Luke Skywalker from Star Wars, was the voice of the Joker in that, it has his signature on it. So it's a limited animation cell. There's I don't know, it's a copy of the storyboard that they used for that particular episode. Now, if you're referring to the Batman cowl that would be, I guess, to your left, that was made for me by a friend. And truly, my wife, again, asked him to do it, and she gave it to me as a gift for the holidays. And I love it. It looks like it's made out of metal, but he's just a super talented guy in terms of the way he builds things. It's made out of paper and cardboard. It's really cool. I love it. And if you look on the right side, as long as we're talking about the stuff there, that is my number from the 2015 Tempe, Arizona Ironman that I did and completed. And there's my medal. And what an experience that was for me as well. So let's get the camera back here. So Sienna Cameron says, oh, Dave, please watch Barney Miller. Fish is magic. Yeah, I love Abe Vigoda. And keep well and happy, your grand. Thank you for the kind words, Sienna. I really appreciate it. John Simonovich says, Lawrence Welk lasted until 1983. That's what I thought. I mean, he really had some durability. And he's still on, locally here, he's still on our local PBS network. They just play the reruns. Basement Bluss says, hi from Georgia. Well, hello from Utah. Great to have you with me this Memorial Day weekend. I need to take another drink. I think this is the first time I've seen you in a live stream, so welcome. I hope I've got no agenda. Usually I have things that I'm going to talk about, particular topics, and I'll incorporate trivia and all of that kind of stuff. Today, I'm just responding to questions and comments. DOAV 2.0 says, Dave, sorry, you remember the Dark Shadows video. Hey, we all have senior moments at this point. I tell you, have more frequently the older I get. Tracy, nice emoji work. Thank you so much. Flash in the pan, a few more likes for our guy. Hey, yeah, thank you. That's great. I would appreciate the thumbs ups. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel, I'd appreciate that as well. By way of introduction, anyone that stumbled upon this live stream, my name is Dave Sundstrom, and I talk about music, movies, and television, mostly television, from the 50s, 60s, 70s, and 80s. Rome Ticklin says, I think Jack Tripper boxed when he was in the Navy. Okay, that makes sense from some backstory perspective. Heed My Warning says, surprise live stream. Good thing I have season tickets to Dave's channel. You know what? It's a good point. I do these probably a surprise live stream once every couple of months, just when I end up with, usually what happens, and this is what happened today. I was working on a video. My next one will be on Linnea Quigley. I finished it up ahead of time. I have this time that I've kind of allocated to working on a YouTube video. And I thought, why not just pop in, do this live stream? So the way you can always be notified of a new video or a live stream, a surprise live stream like that, this is to hit the notification bell. Zen Dwayne says, MeTV needs to bring back the old Terry tunes like Mighty Mouse, Heckle and Jekyll, and Deputy Dog. Absolutely. Talking about memories, one of the memories that I have is when I was, I think, probably 11 or 12, my parents gave me a Super 8 projector. And I didn't have any Deputy Dog Super 8s. It was a silent one, by the way. So it was just a silent projector. But I did have a Mighty Mouse cartoon and a Heckle and Jekyll cartoon. And I would, I would set it up in the summertime, and I'd set up a screen, and I'd charge the neighbor kids like 10 cents to come and watch these old-timey cartoons. And the kids, we were bored. They would pay. Thanks, Heed My Warning. Definitely difficult to, to have. It's anytime you lose a loved one, right? It's difficult. The tough thing about that, and I know I know I'm not the only one that's gone through this with dementia and memory loss, but they fade away right before your very eyes. You lose them. Week after week, you see less and less of the person that you love. Edward Hanna, thank you so much. Flash in the Pan says, Rom Ticklin, Correctamundo. Thank you, Brenda. I appreciate that. Taylor as well. Heed My Warning, a thumbs up. Don't know what that's about, but that's okay. And says, DOAB 2.0 says, let me redeem myself. What about a video on all the local horror show hosts of the 70s? That one has been requested before. It's on my topics list. It's going to require some research because I can only really speak to the ones here in Salt Lake City, Utah. We didn't really have a horror show host per se. We did have something called Nightmare Theater on Friday nights, but I'd like to do that one. It's a great suggestion. Thank you. Robert Culver, welcome. Good to have you with me on this surprise live stream that's probably going to run for another 20, 30, 25 minutes or so. It says, hello from Kentucky. Have you seen any episodes of the Wilburn Brothers show? It's bluegrass and gospel music. No, I haven't. I'm not familiar with that show, but I love all types of music, including both of those genres, so I need to check it out. Little Wing says, true nostalgia will be lost on today's TV generation because of the broad spectrum of choices, channels, and media types. We really are lucky to have lived in an era of lesser choices, if that makes sense. It makes total sense. Now speaking of a video, I'd like at some point to do a video on this because it truly is a case where less was more. And what I mean by that is those of us that came from where we were raised, whether we were raised in the 50s, 60s, 70s, or 80s, those are formative years. We were so lucky that we have this collective memory of particular TV shows and movies and music as well that doesn't exist today. And that is because there's too much entertainment out there. And because there's just this wide array of choices, there's no way for folks to actually have that collective memory. It's just crazy. Less was more. I see there's a super chat out there. Let me get that really quick. It's important for me to recognize those as they show up. Zen Wayne, thank you so much, sir. Very kind of you guys. I'm going to use these super chats to get me a large Diet Coke from the Quickie Mart after we're done here. But you're very kind. You say, who remembers Larry Storch doing the voice of the Joker from the Batman 68 Filmation cartoon show? I do. I loved that cartoon show and was really disappointed at when it was revived in the 70s, it was done by Filmation again, but they went with a whole new cast of voice actors. They used Adam West and Burt Ward as Batman and Robin in the 70 version. I think it was 77. But they did not return to using, and that makes sense, but they did not return to using some of the same vocal cast that was in the 68 version. So I do, and I love that cartoon. Thanks for bringing that back to, my memory. And a lot of fun. And I am going so slow, but just one more. First off, thank you, Zendwayne, for the super chat again. But really, this is a great comment, Little Wing. Thank you so much for bringing it to my attention. It's, like I said, I'd love to do a video on this. CC LePew says, good afternoon, Dave. How about Tales of the Golden Monkey with Stephen Collins? That was a great show. Didn't last very long, but that was a great show. Sky King, just a suggestion. Look at this. Okay, I'm stepping away real quick. I've got my Sky King DVD right here, and I am using. I have plans. I have plans to watch this, Terry. I actually got this from my father's DVD collection, and thought, you know what, this would be fun to watch. So, great suggestion. It's not just a suggestion; it's a fantastic suggestion. DOAV 2.0 says condolences. Yeah. Well, my condolences right back at you. It is so hard to lose loved ones, regardless of how they go. And Parkinson's is not a particularly delightful way to pass either. I'm sure there was a hope. Well, my condolences. How am I doing? Everything is great here in Utah right now, and the Memorial Day weekend is in full swing. Lots of my neighbors are no longer in their homes. They've grabbed their trucks and their trailers, and they're off camping. I got all my yard work done this morning, all my chores done, my errands, and finished up a YouTube video on Linnea Quigley, which will debut tomorrow, I think, probably, maybe to this afternoon. I'm still trying to decide. How are you doing, though, Tracy? I hope all is well. I don't know French. I wish I did. You can tell me what it means as I scroll through here, Colt 49ers. Heed My Warning says, for a second I thought it was John Ritter, but actually it was Tom Hanks that fought the Fonz on TV. Yes, my brother has done a video on that. You should check it out. And his channel is Stephen Sundstrom. That's Stephen with a PH. Too many cop shows. Totally agree. And Lassie. Lassie would be a great suggestion. One that I plan on doing. No. Please, Kevin. Are you kidding me? Okay, Linnea video won't happen because I'm going to have to do one on Gavin. I hope you're wrong. But oh my gosh, that's, he was in his 90s, so I guess it's not unexpected, but tough to see another great actor from, our generation pass away. Edward Hanna says, Al and Peg's high school reunion episode. Yes, Al would win. Yeah, another great example. Otacop67 says, have I ever done a video on Richard B. Schull? He's one of the character actors who everybody knows their face, if not their name. I haven't, and as a matter of fact, I don't know who he is just by the name, so I would have to see the face as well. Maybe you can remind me what he was in the thread here, Otacop. Do I remember Combat? So I've watched some episodes of Combat, but I don't remember it. It wasn't in reruns for me as I was a kid growing up. And so it's only been more recently as I've had people ask me about Combat that I've gone back and watched that a little bit. And at some point, quite certain I'll do a video on or two on that one as well. I really enjoyed and couldn't wait for the sneak preview shows for the coming TV season. Me too. So two things that come to mind when I think about, the new TV season, which would debut in the September of each year. One would be that TV Guide magazine, the Fall TV Preview Edition. That was second only to the Christmas catalog, the Sears Wish Book. That was I couldn't wait for that Fall preview-ish edition of TV Guide. And then the second thing is, do any of you remember the Saturday morning previews that ABC, I think NBC did it. I can't recall if CBS ever did it, but they would do it the Friday night before the launch of the new Saturday morning shows. ABC they did it the best. They had the Brady Bunch on one, Batman, Superman on one, some Sid and Marty Krofft stuff. Although there was also some Krofft stuff that was done on those NBC previews as well. Anyway, love that stuff. And right there with you, DOAV 2.0. Oh, I'm going backwards. Let me go this way. Hi from Oxford, UK. Another United Kingdom resident joining me in today's live stream. That's fantastic. Welcome, Mickey. Good to have you here. Brenda Bunch says, have I ever done a show on the Night Stalker? Yes, ma'am, I have. Again, search Dave Sundstrom, the Night Stalker. You'll find that video. Huge fan of the show. And I have some good memories associated with that. And, that first one, written by Richard Matheson, one of my favorite authors of all time. It just can't be beat. I'm talking about the TV movie. Chris Bodaruco says, good video on Wilma from Buck Rogers. Thank you so much. You know what? I love Buck Rogers. It was a shame what happened during the second season. I could go on. I could talk about that darn thing forever. And so I'm glad you enjoyed it. I try to refrain myself from doing too many Buck Rogers videos because I could just churn those out. I love that show. Missed you as well. Good to have you here in the live stream today, Tracy. Well, I don't know if I have a radio station voice, but I do appreciate the compliment. And you know what? I think the voice serves its purpose for the videos. Thank you, Citizen Not, as well. That's very kind of you to say. The DOAV 2.0 is saying, do I remember combat? I had the combat play set that included the Tommy gun, the helmet canteen, a compass, and army shirts. You know what I'd love to find? I would love to find a commercial for that. That would be awesome. I'm going to have to do some digging. Sandra Sanders in the house. Good to have you with us. Hi, Dave from South Burbs of Chicago. Those 70s cop shows replaced all the Westerns they canceled in the late 60s and 70s. I have a calm, wonderful voice. Well, thank you so much. I don't think on these live streams I do, because what you get in the videos is me really kind of, it's a scripted narration. I've written it and rewritten it. And then when I go through it, sometimes I'll do the takes for each of the images that I share multiple times. And so I'm glad that the finished product results in a calm, wonderful voice. I don't think most folks that know me here and visit with me, my family, my friends, think that my voice is all that calm and friendly. But thank you, Chris, as well. Thank you, James. Okay. Justin says Coke Zero has a lot more flavor variations than Diet Coke. I'm guessing you prefer Diet to the Zero. You are guessing correctly. I don't know why. I have a friend who makes fun of me for liking Coke or Diet Coke over Coke Zero. I will drink Coke Zero, but there you go. Mark Hamill, great Joker voice, great voice actor, great actor, but great voice actor. Love the dude. Mickey Woodcock, have you or will you ever do a show on December Bride with Spring Byington? I don't know anything about that show. I'm guessing it was a UK show. I don't recall it ever being over here on this side of the pond, but I'll check it out. I'll do a little research and see if that's something that's, jogs a memory. Because I love discovering new things, and quite often they result in videos. So thanks for the suggestion. Papa Cronus says, hello, Dave. Hello, everyone. Good to have you here. Papa Cronus. Oh, no. Taylor, are you confirming that Gavin MacLeod has passed away? That's horrible. I'm very sad yeah, you definitely are. Flash in the Pan says, I've got one for you, Dave. Ottoman from 1983, short-lived but entertaining. My brother Stephen Sundstrom, that's the name of his channel with a PH, just did one on Ottoman probably 2 or 3 weeks ago. Let's see. Chris Bodaruco says, I have a signed charcoal drawing. Oh, my goodness. No. That's awesome. I would love to have something like that from Stan the Man. That's awesome. Hopefully you've got it framed, similar to the stuff that I've got behind me. Hopefully you have got that framed because that is a treasure. What do I think about the Fleetwood double album Tusk? Liked it. Not as much as Rumors, but I'm a big Fleetwood Mac fan, and mostly because of, well, Stevie Nicks, but Lindsay what? I'm drawing a blank on Lindsay's name. Holiday Road was a great solo song. Buckingham. Lindsay Buckingham. Great, great artist. The Josh Singh says, hello, Dave from Pittsburgh. Hello. Great to have you with us on the live stream. I'm going to assume your name is Josh because, well, I'm going to assume that. By the way, folks, for those who have just joined the live stream, it's a surprise live stream. Got all my errands and chores done this morning. Pounded out a video, one that I was going to maybe deploy this afternoon or tomorrow morning. Now I'm not. I'm going to do something on Gavin MacLeod. But it will show up in the not too distant future on Linnea Quigley. DOAV 2.0 says, oh, yes, I do remember the Scarecrow alias Dr. Sin. Sure do. Hey, Walter, good to have you here with us this afternoon. No one remembers Automan. Well, Dave Sundstrom and his brother Stephen Sundstrom sure do. It was it was a Glenn Larson show. And it was, while it had a very different story than Tron, it had some Tron-esque graphics, imagery, themes to it. It was fun. Sandra Sanders says she loves Coke Zero. I'm going to give it a try again. When I go to the Quickie Mart after this, before I start work on my Gavin MacLeod video, I'm going to have the Coke Zero instead of Diet Coke. Justin, Sandra, you all say that I should try it again. Maybe I will. Flash in the Pan says he was electric and could travel through wires. Also had a cool car. Heck yeah, he had a cool car. Basement Bless says, I enjoy your videos. They bring back great memories from the days gone by. I have been in a few of your live streams, but not many. The last one was around the holidays with your brother. Well, great to have you back. It's super great to have you back. Thanks for joining us this afternoon. Sandra says, Gavin MacLeod died. When? Is this true? Apparently, that's what I'm hearing. I cannot confirm that. Nice sunny day with the king of happy TV memories. Thanks, Chris. Larry Gustafson, good to have you here. Thank you so much. My mother passed away in February of 2020, so time has passed, but I certainly do miss her. And she was a great lady. She was the lady. Okay, you're going to think she wasn't a great lady, but she was a great lady. But she would give a young 1-year, 2-year-old boy Coke. And I was hooked on. She was hooked on it, and I was quickly addicted as well. Not Coke the drug, Coca-Cola the beverage. Anyway, love that woman, and I miss her every day. Okay, Walter Kazoil says he did, and from what I heard, he was pretty darn good at boxing. Think he even won his weight division. Can't get enough of Muttley's laugh. None of us can. Love that little laugh. Sneaky little dog. He was in the latest movie Scoob. I don't know if you guys have seen this. It's a feature film called Scoob. Came out last year, I believe. And I don't want to give away too many spoilers, but if you haven't seen it by now, I feel like it's all fair game. He's in there. It's great. Look up Sir Graves Ghastly from Detroit. Great host. I will do that as I do my research. Thank you, Chris. I can help you with one of the horror hosts. We had a ghost host, and actually the ghost host personality was also known as Captain Chesapeake here in the Maryland, D.C., Virginia area. Okay, another name for me to research. Thank you, DOAV 2.0. Sandra Sanders. Boy, okay, hold on. TMZ's reporting that Gavin is gone now. My goodness. You know what? I am so far behind in this thread. I am almost 20 minutes behind in the thread. So it is almost 2 o'clock here locally. I'm going to scan through a few of these real quick. Benjamin, you asked about Night Gallery. I haven't created an actual video on it, but my friend Justin, who's Braidwood Inn, he's in the chat with us here today, and we talked about a particular episode of Night Gallery on another one of my channels called Dave Sundstrom Live. Check it out. It's pretty darn good conversation, and love it. Love that show. Love anything Rod Serling related. Oh my goodness, let me say hello to Exploring Israel's History. Hello from Israel. I hope all is well with you. I know there's been some crazy stuff going on. My friend Larry is in Toronto, Ontario, Canada. Great. Glad to have you with us. Larry, thank you so much. Tim, I didn't say hello or welcome you, so I'll do that. And Teresa T, hello from Middle Tennessee. Great to have you with us. Chris Kraft says, love Sky King. Well, video was coming at some point in the future. Rome Ticklin asks if I've heard any more news on Sid and Marty Krofft's efforts to reboot Land of the Lost. No, and no news is bad news. No news is bad news. Bad news. Oh my gosh. That's what happens when I am left to just kind of ramble on for 50 minutes or so. So, no news, and that's bad news. I'm worried. The French that was shared earlier, Colt 49er says it means let the good times roll. Nice. I've got another thank you, Gregory. Very kind of you to say that. And I've got another super chat I need to address. Let me put that up on the screen. And then I think we're going to wrap things up. Zendwayne, thanks again for the super chat. Again, you are too kind. But unfortunately, it has been confirmed that Gavin MacLeod has died at the age of 90. Rest in peace, Captain Steubing. Well, yeah, Captain Merrill Steubing has gone on to sail the heavenly seas, and I certainly will miss him. He is a great man. Those of you that don't know much about Gavin, he is a man of great faith. And I'm confident that in his final hours, he wasn't afraid. I'm confident that he had a clear idea in his mind of where he was going and what he would be asked to do next. So rest in peace, Gavin. Thank you for the years and years of entertainment. And thanks to each and every one of you for joining me on this surprise live stream. It's been a blast. I love doing these things, and I love it when, kind of do them spur of the moment, because typically on a live stream, I do a lot of preparation ahead of time. I do a lot of thinking about it. And this one, I did zero thinking, but it was just as much fun. And it's so great to get everybody's comments and just connect on a Saturday. So I hope everybody has a great Memorial Day weekend. And I would encourage folks to check out my videos. Check out my Gavin MacLeod video that I'll post later today. And leave your comments, your memories, your thoughts about him. And more than anything else, though, I hate to kind of move Gavin aside, but I'm going to for just a second. I just want to thank everybody. Thanks for the conversation today. Thanks for joining me. Thanks for the engagement. My name is Dave Sundstrom. I talk about music, movies, and mostly television from the 50s, 60s, 70s, and 80s. You know the good stuff. But most importantly, thank you for being part of this live stream. Have a great weekend, everybody.